Welcome to a new edition of Harness Central. I'm Harold Howe. We're here with Dave Menary at Stevenson's Training Center near Flamborough Downs to talk about the fastest 2-year-old in the world. He's watching. Now, I'm going to start off going back to the winter when I came over and did the videos of 2-year-olds in training, and you took out half a dozen for us that day. He was one of them. And tell us what you said that day. You remember the comment.
I think, at that price he was going to make up for some of the bad buys I made, and he has, I guess.
$3,000. Now, how many guys go to Harrisburg and buy a yearling for $3,000? Not many.
I wouldn't try to make a living off of it, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. He's a colt I really liked. I don't spend as much time on the Harrisburg book as I do other books. I don't believe in videos, on pacers. So to save time, I usually just grab a list and throw all the New York ones on it, all New York Pacers and all the Ontario yearlings and beaches, and that's my list. And I get through them pretty quick. I look at a lot of yearlings.
Hunterton Farm sold the colt as a yearling for Brittany Farms, Bob Burgess, and Karen Burgess. And in talking with Steve, he said, Harold, there's no other way to say it. He was a pony. June 13th foal, I think it was. What made you take him when everybody else in the arena, had gone for cocktails?
I was lucky I wasn't having a cocktail at the time. I didn't fault the colt at all, but he was super small and born late. And on my scoring system, I scored him fairly. I couldn't fault the colt. He had an ass on him like a $400,000 yearling, but he was small. And when you're looking at a lot of colts born in February and March, and him being born middle of June, it's a big deal at that stage in their life. But I didn't think he was that cheap of a colt, and he wasn't on my bid or buy list. I do it old school. I haven't gotten to the iPad yet, but I just flick my book open, stand around the bar, I see what number they're on, 822. That's a little colt I really like from Hunterton, and put my hand up and I owned him.
I've said this buying of yearlings is very comparable to the National Hockey League selecting junior players. In that game, and many people would argue in this game, size rules. And based on size, you drafted a bantam player, and yet it's proven out. He won, he's just tore the New York Sire Stakes apart. Wins in 150 flat at Toyoga, world record.
He's watching. We are all watching. He is wrapped up and drawing clear with every stride. He is a potential superstar here. He's watching. Watch the time. 150 flat track record performance from He's Watching. A dazzling performance.
What makes him go? Where does it all come from?
He's got a big gait. He wears a huge hobble for a horse his size, and he's just all muscle and all heart. He's a little horse, but he thinks he's a big horse. He drags us around the farm. He's on his hind legs going to the paddock, coming in from the paddock every day. He's on his hind legs coming out of the test barn every start. He doesn't know what size he is. I guess he's my little Theron Fleury.
He won in 150, as I said, at Toyoga, but I could argue an even more impressive performance was at Saratoga a few weeks earlier. He breaks stride at the start. He spots the field 11 lengths at the half and power swoops them and wins. You had to be in 55. You had to be impressed with that too.
Every time he's been put behind the gate, I've been super impressed. I think he's come the fast last quarter of the whole card every single time he's been behind the gate. And, he's just very versatile. I was happy to get him back on the big track. We skipped Monticello with him on purpose. I got 2 nice New York colts. I think Major Trick's the second best colt in New York, but, he's really riding. He's watching Shadow right now. It's made for some really good race calls. He's got really good race calls in Saratoga. He's got good race calls in Buffalo. And he got a real nice race call the other night.
It did sound like Ken Workington was going to have a heart attack at Toyoga.
I don't know. That was the first start where he's never got the call. The most impressive performance we've ever seen. That's the first time he's never got the call, but I think it was pretty impressive.
Because of what you paid for him, he had limited staking. So what's holding you here for the next several weeks?
His next start will be on the 22nd at Yonkers. We'll go Yonkers and then Vernon, and then Batavia, back to Yonkers, final at Yonkers, and then he's got the harvest at Yonkers. But nothing's set in stone. We kind of know what we can make this year, and if we get him put away unblemished and unhurt, some money in the bank. Hopefully we can sit home and dream all winter about having a big 3-year-old.
If he doesn't turn upside down, which can happen, but if he doesn't, is he the kind of horse, if I come back in 8 months, I'm going to see a different animal?
I hope so. Being born, in June, he's still got lots of chance to grow. I don't think he's done yet. He went through a little growth spurt in, January. He's not near as small as he was, but he doesn't look small on the track.
Absolutely. Okay, Dave, well, thanks very much, and good luck in the weeks ahead.
Thanks very much, Harold.
Harold Howe with Dave Menary, giving you the Harness Racing Edge.